We were pregnant with our first baby and had a fairly normal pregnancy up until probably 30 weeks, maybe.
Landon surprised me with an early arrival. He was 35 weeks when he came. And we'd gone to
Landon.
Yep, surprise Landon. We'd gone to our doctor's appointments and everything looked fine.
So Soren is our second born. He was a full-term baby. We had our 20-week ultrasound. They didn't find anything. There was no concerns at all.
At our 20-week ultrasound, we wanted two things. We wanted to find out we were having a boy, and we wanted to find out that everything was healthy. And unfortunately, we only got half of what we wanted.
We actually did not know that Daxton had a heart condition. He was born on March 13th, Friday the 13th. And we went home the next day. Everything was good. And he was home 9 whole days, and we were just enjoying our new baby. And then things started to not go so well. 36 weeks, we went in for our C-section. They got Kai out. He was a pretty decent-sized kid. He was almost 7 pounds at a month early, and he was blue.
They told me that he might have a condition, but they weren't 100% sure yet until they had got done with the echo.
The pediatrician that was there, he was at my bedside telling us that something was actually extremely wrong with Landon's heart. And he told me Landon has hypoplastic left heart syndrome, and we were like, what? I've never heard of that.
English, please.
Yeah, the world just sort of stopped.
This is Mia, and she is 10 years old, and she was born with heterotaxy syndrome. And she was born with her heart backwards, reverse, upside down, missing portion of it, and she had no heartbeat.
When the cardiologist came in, then they told us that he had tetralogy of Fallot and that he would be needing open heart surgery. And we were just both in shock.
They said that it looked like there was something suspicious with his heart. And he was diagnosed with HLHS, so hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And it was, a punch in the gut.
They came out and told us he had
Transposition of the great arteries is his official diagnosis. Daxton stopped eating. He was super lethargic. And so we ended up in the ER in our hometown of Emmett, Idaho. And it was only hours after that the Life Flight team showed up, and we knew something more serious was going on. Finally got us over to Boise, and Dr. Womack was there to meet us. And he actually diagnosed Daxton with critical aortic stenosis at that point. And a couple hours after that, we were on a plane to Salt Lake.
So there's just a lot involved and a lot to coordinate when you have surgeries away from home, and most heart kids have surgeries away from home.
We put Kai to bed on Wednesday night, and when we woke up Thursday morning, he had aspirated at some point in the night on his NG tube. So we called 911. James did CPR. The paramedics couldn't revive him at our home, and so they threw him in the ambulance, and somehow they revived him. And we went upstairs and spent another 24 hours in the PICU upstairs before it was determined that he wasn't going to make it. So we made the tough decision to take him off life support, and we were surrounded by so much family as we said goodbye to our son. It was truly a beautiful thing. It was heartbreaking, but the amount of love for us and for Kai in that room was unbelievable. Not only were we going through something crazy, we didn't have the resources that a lot of people did when they were going through it, the support. And looking back, it's like we felt very lonely. And so getting something from JDF and finding out that there's communities out there really made the difference.
Yeah, exactly. I think it just
highlights the importance of coming together with people who have either been through something that you've been through, and sometimes when you get around other people that it's like, oh, my kid has that same scar. What's your story? There's like kind of a common bond that happens.
It is a very lonely thing to have such a dire diagnosis for your child, and bringing together families, not just for the parents though, but for the children. Like Mia, you don't know a lot of kids with a huge zipper down their chest, and so it gives them an opportunity to make friends like them.
We love hanging out with the Jade and DeLuca Foundation. They're a pretty incredible group. So we make it to every event that we can that they host for the heart kiddos and the families.
I like doing the hockey thing. That was fun.
Pizza parties and paint nights, the Masquerade
Oh,
ball.
yeah, I remember that.
My favorite one is probably the bowling because it was really fun and I really like to bowl.
They go to the pumpkin patch, and that is one of the kids' favorite things to do, and that wouldn't be possible without being a part of the Jade DeLuca Foundation.
It affects so many people, but there's not a lot of fundraising for congenital heart defects, and there just isn't as much work being done that there should be for the amount of people that it affects. So the Jade and DeLuca Foundation is always expanding based on what they've been able to accomplish, and we're going to be able to be helping some families financially because they are traveling and they are away from their home, and that is a huge expense. What's so unique about the Jade and DeLuca Foundation is we're lucky to make decisions about the kind of research that needs to be done for our children.
He had his surgery. Everything went really well. We've had good reports from the cardiologist, and we got the go-ahead to wait another couple years till his next one.
He's just, like she said, just awesome. Just total normal kid, smart, athletic, crazy energy. So.
Yeah, he lives life at top speed. I can't keep up with it.
Displayed this at his first birthday party a few months ago, and it was just like, this is where he was, and now look at where he is. And it's just amazing.
Nothing holds him back. So
There we go.
he's like hilarious and strong and full of life, and he runs with bulls at the rodeo every year. He's playing baseball. We're on our way there now.
I'm good at batting and throwing.
Yeah.
And not catching at all.
Because of all the miraculous surgeries she's had and all the care she's received. Now, what do you do for fun?
I run around and play outside and ride bikes with my dad a lot.
As tragic as it is, there has been some good that's come out of it.
Yeah.
We met a ton of amazing people, very loving and caring for us.
Hi.
And how we met the Jade and DeLuca Foundation really is.
I think that family's pretty amazing for using what happened with their daughter to absolutely make a huge impact on congenital heart defect kiddos going forward.
Funding research is a huge deal, and it really does help the kids.
There's just such a dire need, and there's not a lot of people stepping up to fill that need. So that's what the Jade and DeLuca Foundation does.